ai hakuri ran kai
sabin ambassador ya zo nan sun embarrassing shi former ambassador ya zo nan an yi embarrassing sannan ni ka san abin da ya bata mure sai na ga banza da wofi suna zuwa suna shiga inda sun yi maintaining abin yadda aka ba su instruction wallahi ba zai dalilin
kwarai tabbas
Najeriya kenan.
wallahi sun sa son zuciya cikin kai ne ai hakuri ran kai
Najeriya. Zuwa abin da muke so a yi na yaba.
In case you're wondering what is happening in this video, this is Ordinary President, the voice behind the Brekete Radio family. You all know Brekete Radio family, a human rights radio in Nigeria based in Abuja that has been doing excellent job in helping out the less privileged, the poor, making their voices heard. In this video, he's not advocating for any Nigerians. He's not trying to make any Nigerian voices to be heard. He's complaining bitterly because he was denied access to the book launch of former head of state, General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. The book launch that happened a few days ago attracted so many persons. In the book launching, you have the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was there. You have the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, was there. You have former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, Olusegun Obasanjo. You have former Vice President Yemi Osibanjo. You have Aliko Dangote. You have the creme de la creme in Nigeria politics and in business. And of course, Mr. P2B was there. So that book launch was one of the heaviest and the biggest book launch we've ever seen in Nigeria. Yeah, this is the book launch that the ordinary president attempted to attend and he was denied access. Maybe as a human rights activist, he feels that he has attained the level to be among this creme de la creme. But to me, I think that he has attained that level because he has done so much for humanity. He has done so much for Nigerians. I have taken time to watch his program and I have noticed that this man has passion for the less privileged. He has passion for the voiceless. He has passion for the downtrodden. He has passion for the rejected people in Nigeria. And his program has done a lot of humanitarian work for the people that the government have neglected. So when you have a book launch like this, ordinary president ought to have been invited. He should have had a special seat in a place like this. I mean, Nigerians, we need to be celebrating this man. But alas, we are in Nigeria and maybe ordinary president has not yet understood or fully grasped the extent to which Nigeria has gone in times of decay and moral decadence. Nigeria do not care about upright people. Nigeria do not care about people that are fighting for the less privileged. Nigeria do not care about people that are looking after the downtrodden. Nigeria do not care about Nigerians. All Nigeria care about is the high and mighty, the political class. And when I'm talking about Nigeria, I am talking about the politicians because they are the ones that are currently controlling Nigeria now. As a human rights defender, ordinary president is a threat to the political class. Ordinary president is a stumbling block. You remember when Godswill Akpabio was complaining about the Brekete family radio? He openly said that the Brekete family radio is operating illegally in Nigeria, that it is not yet registered. And then Godswill Akpabio had an issue with Natasha Akpoti on the floor of the National Assembly. Then the Brekete family radio put a call across to Natasha Akpoti and she picked the call. She initially didn't want to talk about it, but when she heard the voice of ordinary president, she said, "I respect you so much for what you have done and what you are doing. For that, I'm going to talk about it." And she narrated what happened. But when ordinary president put the call across to Godswill Akpabio in order to hear his side of the story, the moment Godswill Akpabio noticed that it was Brekete that was calling him, he ended the call and he refused to pick this call when he was called twice subsequently. So this is to tell you the level of animosity the political class has towards the Brekete family radio. Not only the Brekete family radio, this is the level of animosity they have towards any human rights defender, anyone that is speaking for the common good of the people, anyone that is speaking towards a better Nigeria, anyone that wants the status quo in Nigeria to change. Because as it stands now, the status quo in Nigeria is only favoring the politicians. It does not favor the ordinary people. So the politicians will not want to relinquish that status quo. They wouldn't want to relinquish that power. And anyone that is doing anything to destroy or change the status quo in Nigeria, that person will be seen as an enemy. So ordinary president is being viewed as an enemy. So there is no how they are going to allow him access to a political gathering where the politicians are gathered, where the same persons his program is aimed at destabilizing, where the same persons where his program is aimed at destabilizing their circles and status quo. They will not allow him to enter such kind of program. And I feel pity for him. He is doing a right job, but that is a sacrifice that comes. That is the consequences that come for being in Nigeria and doing this kind of job that he's doing. When you have someone like the Senate president speaking against what you're doing, then the ordinary president should watch out, because I am sure that soon a bill will be passed on the floor of the National Assembly that will be aimed at frustrating the smooth operation of the Brekete family radio. Don't say it cannot be done. It can be done. We are talking about the same National Assembly that changed our national anthem without any public discourse. We are talking about the same National Assembly that passed a budget of 15 trillion naira for the construction of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway, a project that did not pass impact assessment, a project whose bill was not appropriated on, a project whose bill was passed without any public bidding. Just a secret bidding that was given to a person that is very close to the president. We are talking about a National Assembly that allowed the president to buy a $150 million presidential jet in the midst of economic downturn, in the midst of the reduction in the purchasing power of the people, in a period where Nigeria is experiencing the greatest and the highest inflation in the history of this country, in a period where Nigerians are going through the most excruciating period in the history of this country. We are talking about a National Assembly that has openly declared allegiance to the president rather than declaring allegiance to the Nigerian people. If you watch what Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is silencing the voice of opposition in Nigeria. Most of the politicians in the opposition party are now decamping to APC. In case you are not aware, Akpabio also has an intention to become the president, and he needs to start working now to ensure that everything runs smoothly when he wants to become the president or when he becomes the president. Looking at the way he's running the National Assembly, it gives you a clue of how he's going to run Nigeria, and he wouldn't want anybody or any organization that will stand on his way. So passing a law that will frustrate the smooth operation of Brekete Family Radio or any other human rights organization in Nigeria is as easy as anything. Again, if you look at the treatment that was given to the ordinary president, then you have a clue of what Mr. P2B has been going through in the hands of these politicians in Nigeria. Mr. P2B is seen as a threat to the status quo in Nigeria. He has openly stated that his work, his mission is to destroy the structure of criminality, is to take the power from the people that have it and give it back to the Nigerian people. Because according to Mr. P2B, power belongs to the people. In 2023 general election, Mr. P2B almost won the presidential election. If Mr. P2B had been declared the winner of that election, Nigeria would have reset automatically. Most of this criminality, most of this state capture you are experiencing now would not have been so if Mr. P2B was the president. So all the attacks against Mr. P2B you are seeing on social media and offline are all state-sponsored. I saw a post from Reno Omokri. He was mocking Mr. P2B that he was not given the opportunity to speak during the IBB book launch. And he said something that Mr. P2B is not regarded as anything in Nigeria. Reno Omokri is one of the state-sponsored propagandists in Nigeria. His duty is to make defamatory and derogatory comments against Mr. P2B, instigate tribal tension between the North, West, and the East. All of this is geared at dividing the support base of Mr. Peter Obi, demoralize and weaken the spirit of Mr. Peter Obi. You also what Daniel Bwala did. Daniel Bwala has been rewarded as a special advisor to the president. Donyokwe is also doing the same thing. I don't know where he is currently now. We've not seen him for a very long time. So all these things are being geared towards destroying the support base of Mr. P2B ahead of the 2027 general election. Because aside being a politician, P2B is also seen as a human rights defender. P2B is for the people. P2B is speaking for the Nigerian people. P2B want the best for the Nigerian people. P2B want to take the power from the people that has it and give it to the Nigerian people. P2B want to destroy the structure of criminality that is currently going on in Nigeria. P2B want to destroy the status quo. And what is the status quo? Where just 0.1% of the Nigerian populace are controlling Nigerian resources. And these 0.1% are the politicians. The politicians are the ones that are controlling the Nigerian resources. Nigeria is blessed with vast human and natural resources, but these resources is uneven distributed. Over 130 million Nigerians are living in multi-dimensional poverty with a country with so much huge resources. Why? Because the politicians, the political class are controlling these resources. They don't want these resources to be evenly distributed to the people. It takes only a politician that has sympathy for the people. It takes only a politician that knows how to create wealth. It takes only a politician that is people-centric to redistribute these resources to get to the people. And these politicians don't want to let go of these resources easily, because if they let go of these resources, they will definitely let go of their grip of Nigeria, and they will definitely let go of their power. That status, that social status that they are enjoying now will no longer be there. This is what Mr. P2B wants to destroy. And this is what ordinary presidents stand for. Remember when P2B was campaigning during the 2023 general election, he visited the Brekete family radio and he spoke. That visitation gave him wider reach to the Northerners. So for associating with Mr. P2B alone, he is seen as a threat. He should understand this and tread carefully. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.